Hello everybody, this is Sonya. It's getting late too again. Well, late for me, it's 11:30 because I've got to get started. Well, I've been started. I've been doing stuff most of the morning while up since 7 o'clock, as soon as my eyes are open. So I've got a few things today. I'm going to actually do a bit of slow stitching to start with. I've collected up my bits and pieces here, look, that I could use in it, and I'll show you those in a minute. I have started on the piece that we started yesterday, but I haven't finished the whole piece of it because I wanted to show you how to do this, okay? But I see if I got it done mostly, then all I got to do is just show you the end, and then we can keep going, okay? So I've been stitching this on. Actually, that's just sitting there, it's not stitched at all. And we can use all sorts of different threads, right? I've got some chenille sort of bits here, they're really nice, and I've got some all sorts of shiny bits, and they're thick ones, they're not so thick. These ones here are machine ones, but I use them for embroidery, I always have done. They're the ones I bought and haven't even looked in yet, they're just... not just, they're really good old threads. They're from, it says from Britain, British. It says British something written there, on there. I bought them, just put them in the bag. There's a bit of silk there's a bit of silk thread in the bag, mostly because so they don't tangle through everything else, mostly. Okay, that one there's like a very fine ribbon, which you can sew with that. This one here I use a lot on my, if I'm making a bee or something with wings and that's a good colour for that, and that there is too. I have a real lot of that stuff. Actually, I've been giving it away now for years because I managed to get a fair bit of that. This is a bit of silky stuff. I think that's what that one is, and that one there is a crochet. It's not actually, well, you can crochet with it. People used to once make bags and things like that with that sort of stuff. I just rolled a bit of that on there because I've got a good reel of that. Plus, of course, you use your, I've got all these, you think I put these in there so they wouldn't all tangle either two. Okay, so they're nice, whatever that says on there, they're floss, but they're rayon. It says 100% rayon. It's a little bit hard to sew with, but patience, you'll get there, okay? And of course, there's all the embroidery thread, my DMC and anchor and whatever else I've got over there. Now, this is going to go on the front of cover of my journal, as you know, and I've just been sewing around here. What have I got here now? Tangled up a bit. I've just been putting little stab stitches around and fastening it down. You know, you're just going to go through the back, here, like so, and just do some little stab stitches. Now this cotton is a tiny bit thicker than the average. It is a very, very, very thin crochet thread that they use to make very fine tatting or crochet with. I just went and washed my hands. It's not because I've been fiddling around in... I tell myself, Sonya, don't be fussing around in drawers and things, because then you only want to get stuff out or stuff, and I say to myself, no, you're not doing that today. You've got to get straight on with your work. That doesn't seem to work for me that good. Anyway, hubby's just bringing me in a cup of coffee, so I'll just get me a nice cup of coffee, thank you. And then I can finish my bit of sewing. Thank you very much, dear. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going around here, and you just push the needle in. Now this is to fasten them down, right? But if you're happy to leave them if they're not in your way, you know, that's okay, because you might not excuse me, you might just like to use it so it's... Now you might see a few different pieces. I went and I found that bit, and I don't know what else, maybe this piece here. I just want a tiny bit of green here. I'm thinking about putting the shiny in. I don't know yet. I have this piece here that I was going to put on there. But then it's not got itself in there yet, so maybe it's not what I was really looking for. I wanted to sort of, when I say I'm not going to be doing a lot of the same colour because I want to put a lot of different other things on. A lot of people do their slow stitching in the same colour. Now, slow stitching is stitching with a needle and thread as opposed to, I suppose, on the machine that goes fast. It's like embroidery, except it's stitching and it's just mostly straight stitches. You can put, people do a lot of embroidery and things on them. You can put anything on them that you like. No rules or nothing, okay? So it's embroidery, but it's really good and nice to do. And I was thinking a while ago that I have something here that I've actually printed onto fabric, and I was thinking I might put that in if I can find it. Just a quick look, I promise we won't be too long. I don't know what I did with it. I had it here the other day somewhere. Okay. I have got a lot of bits and pieces here that I have got fabric that you print. Oh, here we go. What it is. There's a piece. Right. I'm thinking that I might put that on the front of this somehow. So that I won't take the back off. Because you can put in like anything you like. You don't want to put any rules to yourself. Okay. Put this back over there for a minute. So this says lace and corsets, and that's a corset case. That is. There's a lady on the thing. I'll just tear this off the back. Don't know if this is the sort of thing I want to put on here though. Maybe I should do something on the next one like this. I don't know. Got a lot of ideas. When I'm looking for things for the next one, I'm always looking for things for the last one, aren't I? I've got this written on here. It says so. Maybe I could use that. Hold this piece of tape. We could fit it on here somewhere. I'll just leave that over there for future reference. And will I put a bit of this on? I don't know. But see, you can do this. You could go and you could print it off. You can stamp on your fabric, and that's what that other piece is there. It's a piece of a bit all over the place here at the moment, isn't it? A piece of tape. And you buy the tape, of course, and then you can, but see, this is not showing us anything really sewy, is it? It's just, it's a corset. It's not really necessarily, I suppose you could sew one if you wanted to. So now if I printed something else better, something else that I'm really partial to, I could put it into this, couldn't I? Right. Well, we've got the idea. It's out there, you know, so we could probably keep it in our thoughts, okay? We'll keep it in our thoughts. Okay, so I don't know if I want that blue bit, that purpley bit. I'm not sure about that purpley bit. Not the purple, this blue one. I find that, oh, hang on, I'm not really keen on the holes, so let's go with just these bits at the top and see what we think about that, eh? We like that better, don't we? Yep. I'm going to stitch that one on. Is that too light compared to the rest of the things? Maybe not. Okay. Probably don't need to put another piece of this on here. I don't know. I'm quite partial to this. I really do like it. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put this on. So I've got my needle and thread, and I've put a knot in the back of it. When you put them down, make sure that you've got the seam of the one behind it, like the end of the one behind it, in there too, so I can see through that, and I can see that I've caught that there, so there's not going to be any gaps. But if you have got a gap, just put something over it. Put a flower on. Sew something on there. Well, I must admit, embroidery's always been a really good thing for me. I've really enjoyed it all these years. Yeah, a lot of years. Yeah, I really have. It's, have I got this on the wrong way? Oh no, they both look the same side. So when you do this, if you're not happy to leave the stitches in, it's up to you. You can take them out. So you just need to do little stab stitches, big stab, whatever you want to do. You know, you could, it's like considered to be a tacking down thing, so it's all fastened on. Okay. Ouch. Try and use a good needle. It's not too thick. You don't want it too thick because you want it to sew through. You want it to have a really sharp point on the end too. You don't want anything blunt because then you don't want to be trying to pull it through with pliers. That's not good. You need something that's very fine and pointy. Okay? Well, that'll depend on your thread too. If you start to get a bit thicker thread, you need probably to get something a bit bigger, but not too much so, because the thicker the thing is, the harder it's going to be to get through this part here too, you see. So, right, I can still leave that fastened on there because I can come through and if I get something else to put on, okay? I'll find something else. Another piece of fabric out of that box, do you think? I have picked out a couple of things here, but I think this might be a bit too red, too pink. Too pink? Is that too much pink? I'll fold it over because it's only going to be smallish. Maybe not. Gee, I thought it would be. I thought it would be. And your eye can tell you. Okay. Your eye tells you if it's right or not. All right. Do I want that across there? You don't think that's too over the top, do you? You look at it, then you look at it again. Hang on a minute. This is quite good. This piece with the leaves on. Quite like that. And then if you've got, yeah, this is it. And then if you've got something, and you don't think it's very, brilliant, I mean, you can always cover it with something else, okay? Now, I'm not real keen on the red flowers. You well know that I'm not a big fan of anything red. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. I don't want that. I don't want this part here on it. I'm going to have to put the red on there because it's not going to fit otherwise. Is it? I'll be putting something over top of that, so don't worry. Where's my needle? So people, you don't have to have anything particular or anything special to do this with. You can just go for it, okay? Just go for it. I don't know if I think I'll put that under there. No, it won't fit under there. I might put something else over the part of it later on just so it won't look like it's a great big thing on top of everything else, okay? If that makes any sense. Yeah, I want to cut that back, do you think? I'll do this first. We'll fasten it on. Now, I just laid my piece of work down flat and just sewed it like this, okay? Some people like to pin them all on. I do sometimes, but I fight with the pins because you keep hooking the thread around the pins, and that's annoying for you, for me anyway. I don't think I can take any off that. I don't want to not have it joined over there, so we'll have another bit of thread. I want to use this one here. Oh no, I'm not, it's too fine. I want to be able to see me cotton in case I want to take it out. Well, it doesn't matter, because if you don't take it out, it's up to you, but I want to see what I'm doing. And see, as I'm going here, I'm thinking now I don't like that, but also planning on what I can put on the top of it, you see. Also, I don't like it. I do. I love the green part. I love the nice colour on the green. Okay. Maybe we should come back over here a bit further than me. Righto. Now, I go along here. Didn't want to lose too much though. Are we in the shot? All good. Now I'll get back off the table a bit. No, stay here. Hang on, I'm going to move. I'm going to move up onto the table. There we go. Righto. Yep. I don't know how people can do this. They have their self, not just their hands. I suppose I could do that. Move my arms back out of the way. Okay. Try that. I don't know, rest on my arms or something. Alright. Never mind. Doesn't matter, really. I hope you can just see what I'm doing. That's what we're caring about, isn't it? Okay, now, do I want to take that back? I don't know why I keep thinking that, but I don't think I need to. It'll be fine. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, get pieces of fabric off anything. I'm going to show you some really good reasons why we should shop at opportunity shops, as I call them. You go there for an opportunity. I'm going to cut this off here. Make sure it's get out of my way so it's not balking me. See how far it's going to go up there. Rightio. I've left that piece of string hanging, but that's okay. It don't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I've got a little patch over there I've got to fix. I think I might have had something planned to go in there, but I'll be somewhere in a minute. So we just do some stab stitches, okay? And it doesn't matter if it puckers up a bit, because that's how it sort of looks better, if it sort of looks like it's a bit quilted, you know. I'll just won't worry about ending it off because it's not going to stay there if it does. And where was the hole? There. Now, my concept is that's going to be the top. That's the top. Now, something on that little patch there. How about a little bit of pink? No. A little bit of something on it. Need to put a little bit of something. Something. Just making a knot in my thread here. I guess I can put a bit of pink on it. It's not going to matter. No, there's too much pink over there then. It's just too crowded with the pink. That's not right. Isn't that incredible? I only need one tiny piece. One tiny piece. Okay, I was going to put this on here. I'm sure I was. This bit of, and it won't matter if it's only one piece on here. It'll all look good when I'm finished. We'll see. And you reckon? It'll be fine, won't it? If you've seen me work before, I think I managed to get there eventually. I get there eventually with what I'm doing. With the idea, that one there's not sewn down, but I don't think it needs to be. It seems to be sitting there all right. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. So overlapping a few things, that's okay. Now a needle and thread, and I've got a knot in it. And I'm just going to do more stab. Wait a minute, no, go back over that way, Sonia. Let's do some more stab stitches. Down and back up through. It's up to you whether you want to take your thread all the way through like this and pull it through to the other side, or just pick them up like I was doing, which is easier, and that to pick them up, you know, like here. Look, so we go a couple at a time. There you go. You've done that bit. It's a lot quicker, but you don't have to hurry. There's no races, no race, no rules. So that looks nice, a little patch there, doesn't it? Probably won't even recognise it after. It just depends. I don't want to spend too much time on here. I want to have it finished by the time I get the book done. Well, that's an ongoing process, isn't it? But that's okay, because I'll get there. I really will. Now this one too, I'll have some pieces of applique that I want to put on it. I don't think I meant to cut that off, but I did. I mean, it didn't matter because I needed to cut off anyway, so I've got all that trimmed. So when you do what you're doing, you turn it over the other side and you can trim your pieces back so you can see where you're up to. So like I said before, I won't be putting anything too much, anything beady or that to these sides. Now, have we got this right? Yes, it is. And sometimes it doesn't look right because of the way the patches are. Why don't it look straight? So here's the book. You would have seen this in the previous video because it's changed, hasn't it? It's turned into a bigger one. So that's that. Right. No, it's going that way. Just fits. And if it does come in, it's okay because, like I said, I'm going to put some linen on this, and then that's going to sit on the top of it. And that's going to be the front of it. And there's the inside of the book going along because I had to put it in a bigger thingy. Okay, whoops. Now, to get started with this, quite easy. If you want to add anything to it, you know, that's a good time just to do that. And I do want to add this on here. It's going to be, it's bending on me, isn't it? It's been set on sitting itself up there. Okay, where am I going to put this? I want it on here. I'll have to think about that. I'll think about that. Now, while I'm doing this, I just want to show you the reasons why we should go to opportunity shops, because you can't necessarily buy this in the shop, can you? Look at that. That's a good reason, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? That's off a sleeve, off a little dress. Now, that's awesome. This here is a piece of really, really old paper sort of trim stuff. Look, I thought I'd give you a look at this because this is stuff that I found while I was looking for different things. Now this, you can buy this, but you'll pay a bit of money for it. This is really pretty, isn't it? This one here is really old. It come out of some vintage stuff, some ribbons and that I bought, and so is that one there, I think. I can't get it undone. See how it's got little pictures of bows on it? Look at that. Going to the thrift shops is the best way ever to buy things, I'm telling you now. What else did I have here that I was going to show you? I thought, gee, I must tell people, you should go to the thrift shops because you'll find stuff. The hankies that I get them from there. I buy heaps of this, like the thread. They've always got stacks of this and bits and pieces in bags. This is that you can use for doing embroidery and that. So you can always get those, and you can buy your buttons and because there's always buttons and like this stuff here. Look, I got all that on a reel. You can't just go to the shops and buy these things. You can get and these here. Sure, I bought them there too, and that because that was in the opportunity shop. So all these things, or a lot of these things that I got these Chanel things from there. Don't know which one, but over the years, this is what I've picked up in them shops because they just got these good goodies and all the books that we need, and if we need what's the name, fastener things and pins, because sometimes they have stuff that you can get. This is really cool. I love these. These are felt balls. Somebody felted them, didn't want them anymore. They're Sonya's now. And there's nothing wrong with these things, nothing whatsoever. And there was a lady on Facebook yesterday asking about where people get their things from. You go to the thrift shops. You can't really buy. You can buy a lot of stuff online or whatever, but you know, you can't buy the stuff that you can at the thrift shops. You just can't because it's just not there anymore. A lot of it's just gone. It's not about anymore. I can't see anything else just close by, but I'm surrounded by things that I bought that are not really expensive, so I just thought I'd say that. Another thing, I remember this lady's name now, I forgot. What is her name? Sandy, was it Sandy? Asked me, she said she thinks of Australia as being hot, and I should be saying what I'm talking, but anyway, she said, and then she heard we were having snow. Believe me, it is not always hot here. Not always hot at all. We have snow, yes, but not where I live. I used to live in Orange when I was young. When I went to school in Orange, and then come back here to live, of course, because this is where I was born. And there was snow. There was snow, all right. I remember one year it was about a foot deep, and this is not exaggerating, and we still had an outside loo, which was a fair way away from the house. And in the middle of the night, I had to go, so off I goes, and I'm down there, down this long pathway, and there was thundering and lightning, and my sister come to the back door and said, "Don't come back, the lightning will get you." And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I thought, oh, goodness me. She was, scaring me on purpose, of course, because that was something she was not very, we didn't get on that well. But anyway, here's me. I don't know, I must have been probably about 10 or 11, I suppose. She was younger than me, but I tell you, let me not to come back, the lightning was going to get me. But anyway, I did eventually, I imagine, left there. And yeah, so we went to, there's Mount Canobbla's there where they had the things for the radio, for the TV and radio, and we used to go up there, mind you, because when we were older in the cars, when we were teenagers, go up Mount Canobbla's in the snow and skid, and there'd be no way you'd be allowed to do that now. We'd build snowmans and throw snowballs and things like that, and it was freezing cold, but we still did it because we didn't feel it, And now, where I live now, we get the extreme hot and the extreme cold, so we go from one to the other, and we don't much have time where we haven't got either a heater or a fan going, or air conditioning or a heater going. There's not much time in the year when that happens, so I just thought I'd tell you about that, because I suppose people wonder, there's a lot of places down where the virus is, down in Victoria and places down there where there's a lot of snow and that down there. And I think South Australia too might get a lot. But only 60 mile away was where I lived, from here where we used to get snow. It's not snowed here, as far as I know. Sort of sleety stuff we have sometimes, but not very often. It's been a lot of drought here, and now we're doing a lot of flooding, so it's just everything just goes from one extreme to another. It doesn't matter where you live, I think. But anyway, so yes, we are going to be cold, and it is cold. And the lady says it's going to be 9 degrees, but it feels like 5. Now, how do they figure that out? I'd love to know how they think it feels like 5, or it's going to be 9. That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. But anyway, now I'm going to sew, okay? Now that I've tortured you for that long. I hope I got the right needle, because I just said to you about that. We need something nice. This is really long, but I don't think it's as good as a... Hang on a minute. Oh no, they go really well. They seem to go through there nicely. That's too thick. This one seems about the same. Where's that one I had? We need to know that he was a good one. Here he is. So there it is. I can't tell you what size it is or nothing, because I just have them anywhere through the house, I do. Now, let's do some stitching. So we want to do, I'll just show you basically what... Well, it's just straight stitches, and as I go I could put different things on here, I suppose. I wanted to put some, I don't know if I'll do the butterfly, probably, I've got to try and get onto, oh dear, sorry about that. I want something that's not in the last piece of work, because I have a tendency to do that. Go with the same colours and things. Well, this is nice, isn't it? Ooh, wow. Gee, that's a bit jazzy. That's gone and taken it right from those colours to purple. It doesn't matter though, does it? What you want to put on is all fun, isn't it? I can see all this stuff here I like. I really like this too, but that might be a bit too big. Wait a minute, I'll go and see if I can find something a bit smaller. And then colours. And colours there, that's a piece I want. I'll have that bit there. Well, I didn't get anything smaller, it was the same size. I can't show you what I'm fishing in because it's under here. Oh, got a bit. Got one on the floor. Got him back. Good. Okay. Oh, look at this. Now, we definitely want to put that on there, don't we? Okay. That's something we like. We're going to put that on. Okay, you think? Which way? I don't know. What's over there? How about that? Up here. I'll do a bit of stitching while I'm looking at that. I'll be looking at that. And this here is awesome. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? This is really piece of old vintage. Well, oldest vintage, of course. Piece of vintage. I suppose I could be saying I could be nearly vintage, but I'm not going to say that. It's not nice about myself. Okay. I didn't even start this thing going, you know. Oh, dear. I should have done that, shouldn't I? We'll definitely be putting some of this on. Definitely putting some of that on. Get a needle and thread and start stitching, Sonia, and stop fiddling about. Now, I do mostly like to use these heavy ones, like, you know I do. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to start with the pink one. I like to use these crochet threads. They're my favourite to use in this situation. And I'm going to have a little bigger needle to make it go through the hole, see? Because you need your needle to be the size of that, all right? So this is slow stitching plus what you can buy at Vinnie's or whatever. I get a lot of wool too that's not very dear at the, one of the other stores here. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about this now. That's a piece of pillowcase or bedspread. This is a piece of curtain, a very thin curtain. This is a piece of vintage fabric that I got there. This is a piece of blue lace stuff that I got there, Vinnie's. This one here, I come from the Vinnie's. This was a gift that come from Vinnie's, or one of the. This one here come from Vinnie's. That was gifted to me, and this one here was from Vinnie's. So a lot of this stuff is all from the thrift shops, the thrift stores. So I might start with it on here. I'm going to start in here so you can see it really plain anyway. We're just going to come up through the back. And we're just going to come up through the back. Righto. Now I know I'm going to have to, I've got another 10 minutes maybe, and that's it, because then I don't want to get this turned off, because that happens to me a bit. Okay. So I'll put this through here. Now this needle is a little bit thicker than what I would have used, but I want to put the stitches down, and I want them to be, because I'm using this fairly thick thread, you need to be able to see your stitches. And I can take the ones out behind it, because they're balking me a little bit. See there and there? You can see it. Okay. There through there, go through there. There. Hope I get you. I might do this, and then I'm going to show you another one, like another stitch, because then you can get on with your piece of work. You know, you can do lots of different things, so it's good to know how, isn't it? And I like to take mine over onto the next piece sometimes, just to see, to hold that edge down, okay? Where this is joined across here, I want to go across, I want to incorporate that into it. So we'll go back across here. Now this is not one bit hard to do. This is just absolute fun. It's absolute fun. You don't have to think, oh dear, I wonder what I'm going to use now. What do I have to make for this bit? And it's really nice embroidery. It's really nice. And you can use this for many things. You could fold it in half and it can be a purse. Or make it a bit bigger and you can turn it into a bag. See, there's a purse there. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You have a little purse and put something on the top there, and where's my work gone now? Up here. And there's so many different things you can make with these. You've actually seen me make a lot of squares. Not finished a lot of squares. I'm deciding I'm going to do some, put them together into something, or sell a few. It's already made, because I don't think I need to keep them, although it would be nice if I could put them all together and make a big bedspread, couldn't I, one day? That'll never happen, I don't think. Now this, I like this. It looks nice, doesn't it? Don't you think that looks really good? Hey, look at that. These stitches. You can have big stitches, you can have tiny stitches, okay? There's no rules to the stitches. I'm going to come over here and come back again across the end of that so I can fasten that down. There we go. Now, I'm going to take this off here because I want to show you something now, a bit of couching. We can do a bit of couching. I've showed you a few other stitches. There's lots of different ones that I've showed you that we can use, but I don't think I've showed you how to do this yet. I'm really sure I haven't. I might keep the pink in there. It just depends what colour I find to do couching with. Right. Now, I have this here somewhere. Would I do pink? No, because then I can't. I could do pink. Where's that other thing? There's another thing here that I want. I got the idea. Just give me a second, I'll find it. Here, this is not bad. It's fairly flat. It's not bad at all. I'll have a bit of this. Now, I don't know what it is. It's like a little tube. It's flat though, but there's a lot. It's like it goes. It's round. It's like a little tube. But see, that's going to be nice. I can catch that down in there on that. So this piece here, I won't worry about. Usually we put the piece down in through the fabric, but we can't do that in this circumstance because I've got something that's a bit wide. I'd usually thread it through a needle and push it up through there and push it down there. And I could, but I've got a lot of thicknesses, so I don't think I'll do that today, okay? But I'm going to just sew this on here because I will. And I probably showed you to do this with the ribbon. But, actually, this is really flat, and something round's good to do. You know, something thick like a piece of wool or... that's too thick. This one here is a bit of wool, but it's very fine. This is a bit too fine, I think. I won't be able to see it. I do like the texture in that, though. We might just have to do a bit of that as well. What do you reckon? I think so. Now, what else have I got? I'm going to get carried away now. Great. You get carried away, Sonya? Okay. I don't want to keep this too long. Hang on, I might just put that there. The two of them will look good, won't they? What do you reckon? Come out of that. So this one I'm going to deliberately take over the end so that can be incorporated into that seam there, okay? I'm purposely going to do that. Then I want to put this, end it like that, okay? And I'll end that there, and then I can use that as another point. I can cover that over with something, okay? So I needed something a bit better than this colour too, don't I? I can't, can't leave that there. I need something a bit brighter, something a bit more. That might be too over the top there, that bit. Yes, let's go with something else. Got a piece of this mauve one. This looks good. Now, whether you do all this at the same time yourself, I suppose you need to. You can't really do it if you want to couch something down. You really need to put it all together at the same time. Okay, we're going to go with that, even though it's going to run around the place on me. If I get it up here and get control, I'll try and be controlled of it. And I'm going to come up through the back here, under the back, and I'm going to go over all those threads. Don't go through them, just go over the top of them. You see what I'm doing? Oh dear, I keep disappearing. Sorry about that. Somebody probably called me, get me back here. Where's that needle gone? It's through the back, and now it's through my finger. Oh dear. Now that's too big, I think, that first stitch. Might not be. We might give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't thread that. I can't thread it like that though because it's too thick. I've got to go this way. Got to go this way. Needle threader would have probably been the way to go in this case. Don't muck about with me, please. Now that I'm putting this on here, all right, I'm going to have to consider the fact that I will have to do this more than once on the piece, okay? Because that's just how it is. You're going to have to think about that. If you want to put something on here like this, you need to have more than one thing like this for your eye. It doesn't like anything that's wrong. Now, can I see all this stuff? No, can't see a lot of it very plain. Can I mix it round a bit? I do like this. This is really, really pretty, isn't it? Yeah, well, each piece will turn different, okay? Maybe I should have given it a little twist. I'll give it a little twist and see what happens then. Alright. A little twist about there. That looks cool. I do like that. Now, I'm going to get a bit of glue and I'm going to glue that other piece out of my way. Uh-oh, I didn't go look at that. I missed that bit. This means threading the needle again. But you know what? It's worth doing it right. It is worth doing it right, because you're going to go all that way and you're going to think to yourself, mess. I'm going to do a tiny bit of glue on the back of here so I can stick these pieces down so they're not going to take off on me. Now the glue takes a while to work. It does. Takes a little while to work. Oh dear. Sorry about this. I'm going to have to come back. I'll have to go and come back again, because I just cannot see myself doing any more without this going over the time, and then it'll be upsetting for me because I'll have too many things and you won't see this. Come on. Right, now come up through the back. Now what I'm doing is when I go down the other side, I'm going right back underneath here and nearly near where I come out, so it'll make it all caught up and sort of rounded, you know. This top bit is not what I'm after, but I'm going to be putting something over the top of that, so we're not going to worry too much about that bit. But the rest of it, we just need to make it nice and... Okay, so I can finish this off here, and then I'll come back on here and show you something else to put on your slow stitches, okay? Now you can do this before you do all these other little stitches backwards and forwards, because that's what we do to make it all covered in it. Do I have a piece here to show you the end result? Probably not. Here somewhere. No, can't see it at the moment. I'm sorry. I will show you anyway. I'm sure you know what we're achieving. I usually have it sitting here somewhere, but I might have moved it. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I better go, and I'll be back soon to do another episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.